All right, guys, it's 2026 and I am locked in and focused. My goal in 2026 is grow our business 40%, and I am going to hit that really hard. But today, we're going to break down what I think is just a consistent challenge, especially over the last year. I'm just hearing more and more young people say that they're never going to own a home, or if they can't afford a home, they're choosing to rent because it's cheaper, right? And so many gurus and influencers are saying, home ownership is never going to be affordable for the young. And this year, I am committed to proving that wrong with facts, right? So let's break this down today. I wanted to kind of share a very realistic scenario in my market based on how expensive it is to rent, right? And what we're going to break down is a 5-year time horizon, right? So let's assume that you're exploring renting versus owning, and we're gonna look at a 5-year time horizon. So let's assume that you're paying $2,500 in rent, right? You're looking at renting basically an apartment in my market versus buying a starter home. That's the key here. You're probably not going to live where you ultimately want to live, but you're going to start building equity, right? So let's assume that you're buying a starter home in a decent area for $3,000 a month, right? It costs around $500 more total to buy a home versus rent a home, right? So in that 5 years, if you paid $2,500 a month, you're basically going to pay 30 grand a year. Over 5 years, that will cost you around $150,000 in rent, right? Not taking into account every year, rents could go up or your costs could change. Let's just assume you're spending 150 grand over 5 years. Well, if you had bought a home and you're spending $3,000 a month, that's roughly $180,000 over 5 years, right? It's much more expensive by 30 grand. The key here is if you look back, if you've now owned a home for 5 years versus renting, you will have paid that principal down. I'm just throwing numbers out here. This is not perfect. Around $60,000, right? So you've paid $180,000, but 60,000 of that is going back in your pocket to pay down principal. So in reality, in interest and costs of living, let's just say it's roughly $120,000 total. Well, if you paid out of pocket for rent $150,000 and you've paid out of pocket to own $120,000, already it's costing you less money in the end to own the home, right? On top of that, for that 5 years, you will have been able to deduct